Alright, I'm making this video for the Graves mains who have been lost, seeking a build path, seeking the best build path for high elo challenger games or to get to challenger. It's been long enough. Making this video, my boys Frost, Cigar Perry, and Smoke. They are my Graves boys. They inspire me to release Graves content because I'm lazy, but it's been long enough. So, this video I'm just going to be talking about build paths. My first video doing this might be overly long. I probably will repeat things I should be not repeating, like overly repeating them. But I'm not. I'm new to making these type of videos. I took the wrong summoner spell. I should be. I wanted to take Ignite to show the combo, not the combo, but you get the idea. So I'm gonna do it now. This talk is primarily phase rush only. First of all, you should just be taking phase rush most of your games. I think it's just the best to run. Before the only reason why Fleet, in my opinion, was viable because the one thing you could get with Fleet is you could go Domination secondary. That was like that. If there's ever a reason, I am a Fleet player because this reason was you could go Domination secondary and take Ravenous Hunter, and you could play the healing game. You go Fleet, you go Overheal, you go Ravenous Hunter, and you go Shield Bow and Bloodthirster, and you just try to fucking out heal any damage, right? That was the only viable build path and rune path besides Phase Rush. When they nerfed Ravenous Hunter, I now think Phase Rush is the only viable rune. And I was a Fleet enthusiast. Even when people were going Phase Rush only, I still was going Fleet because that was my playstyle. But now it's too weak in my opinion, right? But so to show this build path, right? This many Graves builds, Gale Force, Shield Bow. This I think Gale Force is just the best build always now, right? Not always. If the enemy team has like 30 assassins and like 6 tanks, yes, you go shield bow because you're not gonna be gale forcing a fucking Thornmill Volibear, Thornmill Scion, Thornmill Leona, and then a fucking Fed Zed. It's like no point. And then a Kaisa who goes has her R and everything. So so we're gonna level up to level primarily. So here's the math, right? Let's say your level you full clear, red Krugs, Raptors, everything, and Scuttle, right? And that's around full clear is around what 950, right? With Scuttle, it's around not 950, around 1,000, right? We all know Graves. We're all fucking fighters. Either one of us is level 3 ganking or invading or going red to blue. No one ever on Graves gets 7 camps, full clears, and then bases. Usually, we're all greedy fuckers. We're all overly strong early game, especially when you take Ignite secondary. Usually, you're going 6 clear into Scuttle, into double Scuttle, or you're fighting for Scuttle, or you're ganking, or you're forcing an invade. We're Graves players. We love forcing, pushing our advantage, right? I personally, unless I'm like dead over a play, I will never base with 1,000 gold first clear. Unless I'm playing in full challenger, I have to defend the vibe. No, but if we're talking about diamond, masters, platinum, grandmaster, even low challenger games, I'm always playing for snowball. I'm always playing for camp lead, always playing for a farm lead, always playing for kills, right? So primarily, my first base will always be around 500, 1500. Because then usually I do these six camps, 7. That's around 1,000, 1,100 ish, and then I need to force a gank, tax a wave, push a lane out. That'll get to 1,200. Then if you get a kill or assist, it should be around 1,400, and then by that point, after doing fighting or ganking or taxing, I'd just go before backing. I'd probably even if you have like 20% HP, 20% mana, I'd go back to Krugs and then I'll full clear again. I'll go Krugs, Raptors, or let's say my path was like this: top gank, got a kill, boom. Then I'd run to Raptors, Krugs, and recalling Raptors, and you'd always have around 1,600, 1,500. You always have around these timers, right? And nowadays, if you're running Gale Force, everyone just builds the same thing. If you base with 1,400, 1,500, you just go fucking. People just build this and leave, right? Always. Maybe if you have 1,500, people would build this. They'll sell refillable. They'll wait in base 10 seconds, and then they'll leave with boots, right? And this is the standard. This is what everyone does. Everyone's going Noon Quiver first item. Let's say something happened. You got your 6 camps and you lost Scuttle Fight, and you're only basing with 1,000. People would just go, yeah, they would just go this, and then if you have 1,000, you'll just buy boots, and then that's all they build, right? I just this is I despise Noon Quiver first item. It is so mathematically bad, and I'll tell you why. Not mathematically bad, but this is the better build. I will never. Also, this also Gale Force. Let's say you go out the map. I'm here until like 13 minutes. I mean 10 minutes fighting. I do. Let's say you base on this. You get this, and then you base. You do full clear can Krug, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp, another Scuttle, another fight. You'll have around 700 more. You base with 700, and then boom, people just buy Noon Quiver. So boom, they just buy Noon Quiver, boom, and then all that did was you went from 2080 to 30 with attack speed, and it does nothing. It's nothing. You just on the map for 4 minutes. You spent 600 gold to get 10 damage up, right? It does nothing. So I will never. And then let's say after this they go back on the map. Then they go again. Krugs, Raptors fight two. Let's say you get you get 2 kills. You base with 650. You full clear. It's around 400. Let's say you get an assist. You base with 650, and then you have to base, right? And then you base with 650. You already have boots, and you already have Noon Quiver, and you can't afford pickaxe, and everyone will just buy cloak, and then they go back in the map. And that's 2 recalls. There's no value. First recall, you base with 600. You got Noon Quiver. You got plus 10 AD. Second base, you base with 600. You based. You got cloak. This is horrible. You get 15% crit chance. It does nothing. This is irrelevant. If you play a game 100 times and you get 100 auto attacks, you're just this is just bad. So I would never buy cloak. You look at any of my accounts, Challenger, Grandmaster, Diamond. I will never buy cloak. I will only buy cloak if it's while I'm finishing Gale Force. Never buy cloak by itself unless I'm talking about early game. Later it's different, right? Instead of buying cloak, I'd rather just wait in base. Let's say you base on 650, right? I'd rather wait. It's like 660 or something, right? I'd rather wait in base unless you have to be somewhere. I'd rather wait in base and just buy double longsword. It is just unless you have to be somewhere, right? Obviously, preferably if you have around 640 gold, you'd fucking go into mid wave, take 2 minions back, right? Or take another camp and then back. And then if you base in 700, even though at this point you'd have Noon Quiver, and let's say you only have 700 gold right now, I say buy 2 longswords. And you're thinking, oh, and everyone's saying, instantly, they don't think of math, they don't look at the math, they just instantly say, oh, this is bad because I'm delaying my Gale Force spike. Gale Force spike doesn't exist. This is not real. Okay? It's let's say I'll show you what I mean. Let's say you have Noon Quiver, pickaxe, right? And these 2 longswords that you bought instead of cloak. Let's get and at this point you should only be around level 7, right? Let's say level 7. And then let's make a target dummy. Fucking sorry, I'm really slow with this. This video is gonna be way longer than I thought it was gonna be. This point of the game, people should only have around 50. Squishies like 80 carries, mids will only have 40, by the way. But let's say 50. This is like over exaggerating it, right? And then it's max health. I have around 1,000. Okay. So this is you see it. Boom, 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 boom. Auto, Q, auto, 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 Q, auto, auto. So 3 autos and a Q, 835, right? And instead of this, you just buy cloak. Auto, Q, auto, auto. It's just worse. I know I didn't hit a crit there, but when you have 15% chance, you're not playing for crits, man. It's just so bad. And this is and then sorry, this is not the comparison I wanted to do. My bad. I wanted to do this comparison. Gale Force and I'm comparing Gale Force compared to Noon Quiver, pickaxe, and double longsword. That's what I'm comparing. This would be auto, Q, auto, auto. 767. All right. Look at this. 767. Okay. Bro. 767. 835. Double longsword did more damage than Gale Force. Forget about the cloak. Double longsword does more damage than Gale Force. And then you might saying, oh yeah, what about the Gale Force active, right? You use Gale Force active once every what, 60, 90 seconds? Every 90 seconds. So I mean saying, unless you're fighting literally every 90 seconds, this does more damage. And we're playing Graves. We're not fighting once every 90 seconds. We're fighting always. Especially this time of the game, level 7, so like 12 minutes in the game, 11 minutes in the game, we're perma fighting always, you know. And especially you should be taking Ignite, and if you're playing in Diamond or lower, and you're perma fighting. I'm thinking about that's just auto auto Q auto auto. This is 835. Red Smite would be 900. With Ignite, it's 1100. With R, it's that's 1355. 1355. You're one-shotting any squishy in the game with 2 autos QR and double smite Ignite, right? It's just right. And here's the thing. So I will never buy cloak ever. It comes to the point where let's say I go out into the rift of this build, right? I get 2 camps. Sorry, like I kill 2 camps. Sorry, 4 camps. Insta die. I base with 400 gold. 400 gold. I make this fucking double longsword into Serrated Dirk, and then I go onwards again. What it was 835 before. Auto Q auto. 927. Your damage went up by almost 100 by just making double longsword into Serrated Dirk. So then let's say I go back in the map again for another minute. Clear my camps, fight, get a double kill. Let's say I get a double kill and I base with 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold, I still don't have Gale Force. First, right? 1,000 gold. You know what I'll buy? I'll buy another pickaxe. Boom. No, I'll buy a pickaxe. It could be 15 minutes into the game. I won't have a mythic, and I'll have this build. And I've done this in challenger games, right? And it's just better. It is just mathematically better, and no one does it. Everyone would I ever seen, they're basing a thousand gold. They'll just buy a cloak and maybe a longsword, right? And then they'll base, and then next back they'll have Gale Force. 2 auto. Oh, sorry, was it auto? You saw it, right? Wait, I didn't see it. I need to fucking do it back so I know what I did. Did auto Q auto. 3 autos in a Q. 1,040, right? Let's say if I fucking instead of this I had Gale Force, and then what would you even replace? You have money to replace anything. I'll do a double. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It just what thousand. It's just worse. Okay, I hit a crit there. And I did what 40 damage more. I hit a crit with 20% crit. I did 40 damage more. That is a joke. And keep in mind, I did 40 damage more in total. But if you're comparing R's, your R would still do more, going having your R would still do more having this instead. 284. What is this? See? So that I did 20 damage more in that combo. With Gale, because I hit a crit. That 20 damage goes away. Now they're equal. With this, if you're using your actual abilities, right? If you're getting Q off more than once a fight, you're automatically doing more damage because your Q does more damage because of the AD. You know, it doesn't scale with crit. And we're not playing to hit a 20% crit chance. That's idiotic, right? So I'll literally have this build at 15 minutes of the game. It just does more damage. You just never buy crit ever. And then you'll go this into this, and guess what? Let's say you have this, and let's say you're basing. You already finished your Gale Force, right? And let's say you're basing on 700. You still don't build it. Basing on 700, every player in the world still buys Cloak here. Based on 700, oh, you just buy Cloak, right? And then they buy, and then maybe buy Pink Ward. No! You have 700 here, you buy double Longsword again! And we're still doing it. And let's say you go back on the map, and then we full clear, we get 2 kills, we base, and we have 900 gold. And 900 gold, we still can't afford Collector. Guess what? We're just gonna finish this. We're just gonna make it into a Last Whisper now. Let's compare. Like, it's just so bad. Let's compare this now. Let's compare if I had Last Whisper. Last Whisper does. Let's do auto Q auto 1450. 1450, and then let's compare if we. Sorry, wrong item. It'll just be this, right? It just does less. It just does less. It's just worse. I even hit crits there. And you might be saying, oh, and here's the best thing about this. Here's the best thing. I think I messed that test up. I think I either hit crit one too many times or something. But here's the best thing. I tested this before. You can test it yourself. You see, it will always do more damage, right? Let's say you have these 2 components, right? And then you have this, right? And let's say you press tab, and you see fucking 4 tab buys, right? And 2 Thornmails. You don't finish Collector. It's fine. After this, you'll just buy Lord Doms after fighting, and then the best thing is now you have Dirk just for like an extra squishy, and then from this way you have the pickaxe for IE at this point. You know, it's just so convenient. Everything fits in well. If anything, you could always just finish Collector, even if they have tanks. This build still does well. Now this is all early game. Early game recap is never buy Cloak ever. People have to realize that also realize the best thing about this build, you're building full AD, you're never building this dagger, and you're never building cloak. So when you base on like 1600 or something, don't go Noon Quiver. Go this. This is better. This is 1600 gold to buy. This is 1600 gold. Well, this is 1600 gold. Right? Let's compare the damage. Okay. Let's compare auto. That's that's two autos. That's 632. Okay. 632 to this. 632. Yeah, let's see this. Sorry, ignore the boots. Obviously, boots don't do damage here, but that counts on auto. 632 to 699. It did 70 more. 70 more damage, right? And 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 then after this, you could just buy, and then after you full clear, you can just buy Noon Quiver then, right? Half the time, but the thing is, if I base, let's say I base, and I have 700, I'll just buy another two long swords.
What are you playing at?
Right? Because then, let's say you go off again in base, you go fight again, right? Fighting, get a kill, blah blah blah. You come back to base, you come back to base with with 1,000 gold, right? Boom. This and those two longswords goes into this, and then again this build will just do more than Gale Force. I only auto twice, three autos, 927, right? Let's say instead of Serrated Dirk, we finished Gale Force, right? Which actually is still more expensive.
This is gonna tickle.
It does, dude. 927 compared to 767. Guys, you're doing 160 more damage. This is that's guys. Think about all the times someone lives with one two autos. That's the 160 damage right there, right? And again, you could say 160 damage. That's literally Gale Force. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is every 90-second cooldown. You're doing more damage to all your camps. Because I just showed this is QR autos, it does more damage and it always does more damage. You're killing your camps faster. And the faster you kill your camps, the faster you be on the map. The faster you get on the map, the more fights you're a part of. The more fights you're a part of, the more gold you're getting. Right? People have to realize that this
Easy,
this is just better than this, right? People are like, "Oh, buy mythics first, buy mythics first." It's just worse, right? And it's all math. It's all math. Uh, like it's just yeah. So I think I repeated myself 30 times. This video is probably 30 minutes long, but you get the idea. And then people saying crit, you should be playing for 20% crit chance. If you play a game 100 times, right, and you get 1,000 autos off per game, what would you rather have? 20% crit on all those autos, or straight Dirk on all those autos, and your Q and your R, you know? It's just worse. If you're even comparing 15%, if you're doing auto attacking 1,000 times a game, would you rather have 15% chance on all your autos or double longsword? There's only 100 more, but you just sell refillable and wait in base 10 seconds. That's your 10 more, you know. So would you rather have? It's like it's just so simple.
Got any bright ideas?
Like this just does more. 586, right? And then what would you rather have? 586 or I'll even try to hit a crit here. I'll start autoing this until I hit a crit. 586 or oh, I hit a crit. I hit a fit. 586. I hit a crit. It still did 20 less damage. And this isn't accounting for R, because obviously double longsword makes your R and your Q do more damage. So not only are you killing camps faster, you're killing enemy champions faster, and it's more convenient to build. Because this cloak will only only builds into this, man. If you have double longsword, you could decide. Do I want to build? Let's say you have let's say this is your build path, right? And then instead of buying cloak, you have this. And let's say you base, then you base, right? And you base, and you have a 1,000, right? You base, you have 1,000, and you look at the map, and then you see 4 tab eyes and like a Thor Rainmail, right? Right here. Fuck it. We just build. Where is it? I'm sorry, I'm blind. Just build fucking Last Whisper. Don't even finish Gale Force. Just build this. And obviously, opposite effect. If you press tab and they have no tab eyes, they're all squishies. Yeah, and we go Serrated Dirk, and I already showed why Serrated Dirk is better. Yeah. It's just math. It's just a calculator. And the fact that no one's doing this is disgusting because it's just math. You go into practice tool for 10 minutes and you see this. It's just better. I did all the math. It's just like what would you rather have? 700 gold 20 AD or 600 gold, 10-15% crit chance. And I just showed even if you hit a crit in a combo, it still does less. And you only have a 15% chance to hit a crit. It's just worse. Like all these items built together, 2 longswords in this build and pickaxe, 2 longswords and pickaxe, 2 longswords and cloak, right? So you could I've had times where I'm basing, right? First base I kill my fucking this is 950, right? Killing these camps. I kill all my camps and I die on scuttle. And I base with 950. And I just buy pickaxe, right?
Always
And then next
trouble.
base I go out, I get 700 gold, I fight, I die, buy double longsword. Next base I go out, die, I base, I you can just I have 700, go straight Dirk and another longsword, right? And then it's funny because you're 0-3, you died fucking like 2-3 times, and with this items, you are just as strong as enemy, unless enemy jungler's like 10 kills. Enemy jungler could be a 3-0 Elise, I mean 3-0 Lee Sin, and you're 0-3 Graves, but unless you keep your farm up and you keep basing and you're buying useful items like this, full AD instead of cloak or instead of finishing this shit Noon Quiver item, you are still able to do the same amount of damage or more. Especially I go ignite basically every single game unless there's like a Malphite you have to flash or something like that. And then you could be down like 2k gold or 1k gold or a level on the enemy jungler and you're still doing more damage always because of your build has more efficient because Lee Sin has to buy fucking Lee Sin, he goes Eclipse, he has to buy Vampiric Scepter, right? Or like you're against an Elise and they have to go they're buying, it just, I mean, they buy full AP, but they buy Ruby Crystal, and it doesn't, like, it just, this is okay, this is a bad comparison. I want to compare this to 80 champions, but my point is, every 80 champion that goes with Gale first item, or Kraken should do this. If you're a Kindred player, you do this same thing, right? And thing is, oh, you're not going Noon Quiver. You're missing the 50% attack speed. Don't you feel clunky? No, because this build is the best build to snowball. So if you're snowballing, you should be getting alacrity stacks. You should be getting attack speed from your runes. This build drastically becomes a lot worse if you're not going alacrity instantly. If you are snowballing, you you want to buy AD as a stat. Crit and attack speed is useless as a stat early game as Graves. It's useless comparatively. This video is way too long. I repeated everything I said, but I hope I got the main point around. I might have to remake this video because it's so long and I made it and it's fucking so bad. But we'll see. Bye bye.